Welcome to episode 2 of the TV show presents X-Men 92. Each week we are watching a couple of episodes and we'll discuss our thoughts.
The TV show presents a whale's vagina?
A whale's vagina? I'll read anything you put on this prompter. We're going to discuss our thoughts, interesting tidbits about the production, the cast, the lasting impact of the series, and more. This week, we are discussing the episodes Enter Magneto and Deadly Reunions. If you'd like to watch along with us, the episodes of X-Men are available to stream on Disney Plus, and I'm sure you're all smart enough to find it elsewhere too. My name is Mike McDermott, and I'm joined by my co-host Jim Vanderhorst and Benjamin Caldwell. How are we doing this week, fellas?
I'm Benjamin Caldwell.
You are Benjamin Caldwell. Yeah, that's something we don't usually do.
He'll read anything. He'll read anything, and that's on the prompter with the question mark and everything.
We don't usually assign the voices to the names either, though. You know, this voice you're hearing now is Mike.
This voice you're hearing now is Jim Vanderhorst.
What up? I'm good. This is Benjamin Caldwell.
Terrific. Yeah, so here we are, another week.
Another day, another dollar. I'm very hot right now on the 25th floor of this apartment in Burnaby, Vancouver, BC. But I am about to move this weekend across town to a much more chill home in the Lake Trout area near Commercial Drive, which I'm really excited for. Not stoked for because it's a whole lot of work and I have a whole lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's intimidating.
Moving sucks.
Yeah, and then after I finish moving, I'm going to get on a plane and go to Alberta and film a music festival, but that'll be more fun.
That will be more fun. You should just do that instead of moving. Just don't ever move and just keep doing music festivals instead.
I mean, I did do that for several years. That was like my 2015 to 17 life. Was nomading around and going from festival to festival.
Here's what you got to do, pal. You keep a copy of the key. You layer all your existing stuff in with your hoarder roommate's random stuff that he never looks at. And then you just come back when you need to and grab the stuff. It's free storage.
What's been good?
Episode 3, Enter Magneto, came out November 27th, 1992. And then we had a big gap while the animation team caught up to everything. And the series started its regular run out on January 23rd, 1993, with episode 4, Deadly Reunions. The number one song in November 27, 1992, and the number one song on January 23rd, 1993 was the same song. Can anybody guess what song would have been that strong that it was still the number one song like 3 months later?
It's the theme from The Bodyguard, probably.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
And
that was oddly enough, that's kind of what I had in mind too. Yeah.
Sure it was.
Sure, yeah. Why I could say that and you can't prove I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
and I will always believe you.
Great fucking song. Whitney Houston's voice is incredible. A really tragic loss.
Not even her song either. It was like
it's Dolly Parton. Right?
It's Dolly Parton. Yeah.
But Dolly's version, I fucking love Dolly Parton. She's great.
Yeah.
Not as good. She admits it. It's Whitney's tune. It's great.
Yeah, Whitney didn't write it, but it was her song, 100%.
Yeah, she her performance on it is just incredible. Her range, her voice was just one of a kind.
I feel like they remade The Bodyguard recently.
Did they? I feel like there's like 40 movies that are remakes of The Bodyguard, you know?
Are you thinking of The Bodyguard, The Hitman's Bodyguard?
That's definitely nothing like The Bodyguard.
Or The Hitman's Bodyguard's wife.
No, I thought that was like a direct remake that was either already made or coming, but I don't know. They're remaking so much stuff nowadays. Maybe it was a dream.
There is a show called The Bodyguard on Netflix that is not a remake of The Bodyguard.
Well,
it had the dude from The Red Wedding on Game of Thrones.
Oh, yes.
Richard Madden.
Hodor.
Yeah, Hodor. It was a remake of The Bodyguard starring Hodor.
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 Oh, no.
Will always Hodor.
Hodor. Yep.
Oh,
Hold the door for me.
Carry on.
yeah, there was a good actual like hold the door pun, but no, I'm not. Anyway, so the number one movie on November 27th was the second weekend of Home Alone 2 Lost
Oh,
in New York.
shit. That
Yes.
is one of
Featuring
the first movies.
President Donald Trump, if I'm not mistaken.
Unfortunately true.
Unfortunately true.
That is probably the most well-known fact in all
A lot of
movie
people don't realize he was actually the star of that movie.
They cut all of his scenes for that Kevin McAllister.
That little bitch, but he got his. I'll tell you. He had a long road to recovery after that one.
I think that's the first movie I saw in theaters. It was one of my first memories of going to the
Nice.
theater was to see that. I won a
The
contest.
Sticky Bandits.
I remember going to see it as well. I didn't win a contest or anything, but I did win a contest when I did go to see the first movie that I saw in theater, which was the Ninja Turtles. I won a coloring contest.
Well, that's what it was a coloring contest. I won a coloring contest and I won a Home Alone 2 hoodie and tickets to the movie. And
Bring back coloring contests to get kids
right?
to go see movies, man.
Right?
So this is what it's like when doves Crayola.
Wow.
Huh.
Which Ninja Turtles movie are you talking about? The first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
Wow.
One of my next movie memories is the second Ninja Turtles movie. I always go to the sequels. Yeah, the Secrets of the Ooze. I can remember being a little scared of Toka and Razor. Ooh, pretty intense.
I remember shouting at the chief of the movie to arrest Toka and Razor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cute little kid
All right.
I was. So then, 2 months later, January 23rd weekend, the number one movie in its 11th week, because it actually came out in theaters around the same time as Home Alone 2, Aladdin.
Oh,
Far
shit.
Long. Yeah, big blockbuster.
Yep, that's a big boy.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Let's start with episode 3 this time.
Just for a change of pace.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't think we've ever done episode 3 before on this show.
This is our first time doing episode 3. Yes.
Really spontaneous, doing new things here.
So this is where we're going to meet, the obviously most famous X-Men villain, I would say. I think that's safe to say, Magneto. He kind of just arrives on the scene.
Yeah.
And he just kind of arrives on the scene, fully formed. Here I am. Nobody really knows who he is, but it's obviously like a big debut. He's coming out party to the world, it seems like, too, right?
Yeah, like people don't know who he is. The other X-Men don't know who he is. One thing that I thought that was really interesting was like my memory from when I was a kid was that Beast is barely in season 1 and he's like all in prison and stuff. But for the first half of this episode, it's mostly just Beast and Magneto talking about ethics, and we don't even know what Magneto is talking about it. And I just thought that was really surprising. And then we get this like origin, and Xavier is explaining how he knows Magneto. And I thought it was actually really interesting that this is one situation like in most cases, the cartoon is more like the comic book than the movies that we've seen. But the movies consistently get right that Magneto is from a Jewish concentration camp, and he was like kidnapped by the Nazis, and his parents were killed by the Nazis. And that's consistently been in the movies.
I was wondering which one was the actual canon, because this one they just say he was in a war.
Yeah,
they don't specify what country.
Yeah, they really soften it, and I thought that was really interesting because that was an era when, for the most part, nobody was protecting Nazis or hiding that. I think it was more done just to make Magneto seem conceivably younger than anything.
Yeah, it felt like a timeline thing more than anything. I don't think they would be afraid to, call out Nazis as bad guys here, or whatever, like I think if the timeline made sense,
they do way later in the show. When Nazis show up in season 5, there's everyone hates them, and there's lots of talk about how Nazis are bad. I think I remember the Captain America episode in season 5 that way. We'll get to it in like 2 years when we get to that.
In this one, they call him like Professor X calls him Magnus, but in the movies they call him
Yeah.
Eric. So which is it? Is it Eric or Magnus?
He's got a lot of names.
I don't think it actually is either. Is it? Does he have a completely different name at this point?
He's like
They
Eric
keep
Lencher. He's
retconning
been
his
called
name.
Magnus something.
He was Magnus at first, like that was his first real name, and then I think that became his middle name because he was Eric Magnus Lencher.
Mhm.
But then I think that they might have given him a new name altogether.
He seems to be consistently Eric.
Yeah, no,
and
he's
they just-
Max Eisenhart now, but because I think
Oh
they
my
wanted
God.
him to have a more Jewish sounding name, maybe.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, he's Max Eisenhart officially, but he's been Eric Lencher more in pop culture.
Totally.
So
Like the Ian Mc not fuck, what's his name? Ian
McKellen.
Why am I Ian McKellen? Oh my God. Ian McKellen's version, that's the version 99% of the people know. And they call him Eric
Right.
Lencher all the time. It's always Eric this, Eric that.
yeah,
They
like
call him that more than Magneto.
Yeah, they only came up with Eric Lencher in 1993, though, so it isn't like
Oh.
it was new at the time. It was like they
Interesting.
actually came up with it after the TV show started. So that is why he's
Interesting.
Magnus in this first appearance, because this is 92.
Well, I'm looking him up on
Not a big-
IMDb, and it looks like the guy that played him in the show is named David Hemblin. And it
Mhm.
says he was the original choice for the role of Magneto in the live-action version of X-Men, but was
Wow.
forced to turn down the role.
What?
So we might not even have seen Ian McKellen if this guy hadn't turned it down.
That's actually crazy.
Wow,
There's
who
no-
would have
there's
played
no,
Gandalf? Oh no, that was before. Did he do Lord of the Rings before X-Men or after?
Mm.
It must have been before, right?
I think X-Men was first.
Because X-Men's 2000, and then Lord of the Rings is 2001, 2, 3. I know that they were filming all three of those movies before, but they must have X-Men must have been shot before Lord of the Rings. So it might have had an impact on it, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
I know that
Who
Bryan
knows?
Singer worked with Ian McKellen on Apt Pupil right before he made X-Men, and that was kind of the Ian McKellen's, I think, maybe Oscar nomination, and that that made him a bigger name. Before he was kind of one of those guys that was always doing stuff, but wasn't. He wasn't Michael Caine everywhere like he is today until Apt Pupil and X-Men and Lord of the Rings made him a household name, I think.
Yeah.
I don't really see him showing up in old classic movies, I know about his Richard III is apparently great, but I've never found it. I've been wanting to watch that movie forever. For those who are not aware, Ian McKellen stars in a movie version of Richard III that's like set in World War II, and he's kind of like Richard III as Hitler. Really interesting twist on the Shakespeare. It's supposed to be one of the best Shakespeare adaptations, but also very hard to find for some reason. Sometimes people are just weird about rights and they don't want to make money off of shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
The
he's
guy
definitely
who
a Shakespearean actor.
sorry, totally kind of tangent. Anyway, we were talking about David Hemblin.
Yeah.
He was on a show that you and I have talked about before, Jim, Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future.
Is he Tank?
I don't believe so.
If he was Tank, it would have been so cool.
I'm trying to see. There's
Who
a
was
picture of him. He looks like a Borg from Star Trek.
Oh my God! Is he Lord Dredd?
I think he's the bad guy. He's the villain. I think if you go to his IMDb, it's one of his.
That would have been an interesting choice. He's not like a jacked, super fit guy in the way that I think of the 90s X-Men. Like I look at this Magneto and I think, okay, this guy's like 50 and works out super hard. He is superhero fit. And I think Xavier is like 54, 55. That's kind of the rough take, is that they're, early 50s, maybe late 40s. So it was, I think, surprising for people when, we get introduced to 70-year-old Magneto, or however old McKellen was at the time. He looked like he was playing old man Magneto.
Yeah, he looked old as dirt.
I feel
I know
like
he's
those
still
X-Men
around
movies
today.
were meant to be in the present day. Like they were like contemporary movies, right? And so he would have have to have been in the 70s or 80s to have been a World War II.
Exactly. So I think maybe they might have aged him up actually in that first movie to make him more convincingly and not a World War II survivor.
According to his IMDb, it was X-Men and then The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and how old was he when he made X-Men?
Let's see.
39.
What is that a reference
Hans Moleman. I'm only 34 years old.
39 is a specific thing. I was just watching something that it might have been Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I did see the Always Sunny in Philadelphia season premiere that had the Abbott Elementary cast. That was fantastic.
Oh, really?
He was born in 39 and X-Men came out in 2000. So
he was born in 39?
Yeah.
Oh, so he was 61 then and he's like 86 now and he's doing fucking Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Hats off to Ian McKellen for this.
Yeah.
It's like the last third of his life is crazy interesting.
Yeah.
Right? That's really, that's...
He was in Cats.
Huh. He was in Cats. My favorite Ian McKellen, this is a total... Last thing I'll say is have you seen the episode of him on Extras?
Yes.
Oh, how do I know where to stand? They tell me where to.
Syrian.
Yeah, everybody's appearance in Extras is the best work of their career.
And now I'm Gandalf, and you shall not pass.
And now Syrian. Okay.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart's button. That was good too. That was such a great show. Shout out.
Yeah. Speaking of rambling peanut galleries, I thought it was really interesting how the guards are all just saying all this dumb shit to each other.
Right?
Like we got so much more of the guards than we got of the actual X-Men talking in this episode. And it was all really funny stuff. I as an adult really enjoyed it. I thought it was
they were shown to be just like such like Southern idiots too. Like not even like tough guys. They sound like total Southern redneck fools.
Oh, he's
very Star Wars.
Oh, nice book, nerd.
It really speaks to like there's a very big world in this cartoon. Like there's always people coming in and out. There's always people appearing for one episode. It feels really, really wide open and big. And most cartoons were so insular where you'd only have like it felt like the only people that existed were the cast a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah.
Totally. And I really like that about this. It kind of made it feel more mature and grown up. At the time, it sure doesn't feel like a grown-up show now watching it as a 40-year-old man, but really if you compare it to like what it was on beside in 1992 on the Fox network, it was like, Eek the Cat and Tasmanian Devil and Tiny Toons. I don't even think Animaniacs was out at this point. And then we get to this trial. Cyclops and Wolverine show up to the trial. Beast gets denied bail, and Sabretooth arrives. Like, I guess Beast. Okay, so
this trial got out of control really fast.
Yeah, so Magneto offers to bust Beast out, and Beast is like, "No, I want to just go through the law," and then the law fucks him up. And Sabretooth attacks, and like I always kind of assumed that the A and B to this was that Magneto has sent Sabretooth to attack, but are we sure about that?
I think next episode.
You sure about that? That's why.
I think the next episode does actually confirm that.
Okay.
But yes, I do. When you're just watching this one, it does seem very random that Sabretooth just busts in and starts, busting people's chops. And it really gets out of control really quick because they leave Beast out of
one chair and that takes out, I think, 3 cops.
Yeah, I think like everyone is expecting him to show up because we saw him in the first shot of the first episode. So we're kind of waiting for him to show up. So and I think that kind of is, they understand that and they just use that expectation to just smooth out the fact that like it really isn't very clear here.
He also has like, I think a 14 pack that just merges into his nipples and like
thinking
pecs.
The same thing.
He's got mutant
his anatomy is insane. It makes no sense.
Wolverine has a 6-pack, like Cyclops has a 6-pack, but this guy is literally probably a 14-pack that's just like ridges all the way up to his pecs.
Yeah.
Unattainable.
Absolutely. Yeah. This gave me muscle sadness. It made me feel very bad about myself.
Yeah.
Really? You're comparing
body dysmorphia
to Sabretooth? Okay.
That's that. I mean, if I looked like Sabretooth,
same sideburns.
Yeah.
I don't know if women really go for that Sabretooth look, though.
Oh, Sabretooth fucks, my friend. Sabretooth fucks.
Well, true. In some versions of the story, he's Wolverine's dad. He's also
Right.
being Wolverine's
Oh.
brother. He's Wolverine's brother in the movies, I think.
Has he
Although
ever
they're
been
kind of
Wolverine's
like,
boyfriend?
um,
I think
maybe?
Wolverine wanted to be his boyfriend in the second episode here.
Yeah.
Said something about what?
But he's a
Plunging
piece of
into
shit.
his dark depths or something like that when he was mad at him.
Yeah, okay.
No, I
Yeah.
think you're right about that, actually.
Mhm.
I won't read into that anywhere, but I do think he said that.
Yeah, so Wolverine almost kills Sabretooth. Cyclops stops him. They bring him back to the mansion's infirmary, and Wolverine's real pissed about that, and he tries to kill him in his sleep. Ember gets real mad about that.
Hmm. Yeah, he makes a good point about, because there's an alarm shortly after he tries to kill him and they have to go take out Magneto or fight him. And he's like, calls out Chuck how they can go fight his old enemy, but when it comes to Wolverines, they have to play nice.
Which was
And I
like
thought,
a really good point. I was 100% on board with Wolverine.
Yeah,
He's
I agree
right.
with
Wolverine
that.
was right. Yeah. Why are we giving this guy a second chance, but this guy we have to go fight for sure?
That's right.
It was kind of smart, I thought, to introduce Sabretooth and Magneto at the same time, like to parallel, like they're sort of similar characters to Wolverine and Charles, like
Yeah.
characters from their past who sort of mirror their story in a twisted way.
That's right.
Magneto attacks this military facility, and that Wolverine says this to Xavier when Xavier sends Wolverine with Cyclops and Storm to try and stop the missiles, right?
Yeah.
And holds back Jubilee to look after Sabretooth.
Yeah, just
give
sit
him
in his
more
lap and
kisses.
just hang out with Uncle Chuck here. Nothing weird about
That's
that.
not the point. No, she's here to protect Sabretooth and give him treats and not kisses.
Kiss therapy.
Yes, the kiss therapy is working excellently.
Mm-hmm. So Magneto attacks this missile facility, and he's overrode the computer launch system somehow, and he's going to launch the missiles at some humans. So they only send Cyclops, Storm, and Wolverine to go try and stop him for some reason. Did they explain where the other team members were? I feel like Rogue could have been very helpful here.
Well, she's going to come along next episode and not be very helpful. So I think you just stuck your foot all the way in your mouth, didn't you?
Oh, boy.
All the way in my mouth and out my butt.
It's because of character development. We just need to have only a small enough amount of characters that we can develop them at a time. We only really see the whole team all at once in like big event episodes. And the rest of the time they try and like pair it off so they can focus on developing a few characters at a time. And this is kind of like the beginning of that.
Yeah.
I found it really interesting that the team kind of like only slightly changes in the next episode. I really feel that they're kind of like, even though they're not a two-parter, there's a lot of stuff going on that makes it feel like kind of unintentional two-parter.
Well, it does say to be continued at the very end. Is that just something that they kind of do every episode, or are these not specifically?
I think every episode of the first season does have a bit of a cliffhanger that leads into the next. Like we're gonna come into this, but one of the things, my favorite things about this show, is that the first season really does build up and interweave a bunch of stories in a way that wasn't happening in kids shows in 1992 or 3 at all, or even most adult shows. We wouldn't see something get introduced in one episode and then pay off 2 episodes later as much
totally
any TV show as we are in this, which is fucking awesome. Like hats off.
And they definitely owe that to trying to stick so close to the comics. I would say, like, it's just comics are obviously like super serialized and
but they're really doing a great job of taking all of the popular elements of the previous few years of what was going on in the comics and making a new narrative about it. And like having spent a lot of time reading that era of the comics, I actually kind of prefer this take on the canon to what Marvel Comics was doing themselves. It was overstuffed. There was too many teams. Like Cable wasn't as good a character until much later. There was a whole lot of focus on, I don't know, a lot more violence than maybe was necessary. A whole lot of time travel and clone nonsense, right? Like it's a simpler narrative. It's really streamlined. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I find really interesting about Magneto in this is that he's quoting a lot of like famous other stuff.
Mhm.
Like he says, "Oh, what a brave new world that has such people in it," which is a quote from Brave New World, the Aldous Huxley novel from 1932. And I thought that was kind of a cool thing.
Isn't it also a Shakespeare quote?
Yes, it is from The Tempest.
That's right.
Google did me wrong though. It only gave me results that was talking about that, but it is also from The Tempest.
Yeah, there was a bunch
So
of
yeah,
Shakespeare references in the show, and also like George Orwell and other stuff. Like he was reading Animal Farm, and he also was reading Beast was reading Dostoevsky at one point.
yeah, and I think that the writers probably read those things to research it. He also quotes Emiliano Zapata, the Mexican freedom fighter, when
Yeah,
he says, "It's better to die on our feet than live on our knees." Like, I can't believe that this is the first place that I heard that Zapata quote, but it
yeah,
is.
man.
That's fucking wild to me. I always thought it was Repo Man. Xavier helps Storm somehow to direct the missiles to the water and disable the warheads. So they foil Magneto's plot, sort of, but he's still like at large, still a threat.
He still fucked that military base up really good. Like he
Yeah.
was shown to be like super crazy powerful. He was like,
Like honestly, how many fucking powers does Magneto have?
truly
Like so many.
they make it seem
Yeah,
like
we'll talk
being
about that more
magnetic.
next episode because I feel like his powers don't even make any sense in the next episode.
Yeah.
But in this one, like it does make sense that he could just fuck up a very metal military base
For
and
sure.
completely take control of the missiles. That's a standard Magneto go-to is taking control of missiles. There's a reason for it. It just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's I think one of the early Magneto stories is also him hijacking missiles from like way back.
Well, apparently, yeah, reading the show notes here a little bit just online. Apparently the place where they do this missile thing is based on a physical location from the comics where they have their first encounter with Magneto. So you are correct.
Yeah, I think I've read that actually, and like it's from X-Men number 10 or something way back, or way early in the day, because he wasn't the first person that they fought, but he was one of the first, and he definitely became the nemesis real fast. And there's a reason why almost every X-Men movie has Magneto in it. He's
their Joker.
more than the Joker. He's kind of like the yin to Xavier's
I think
gang.
he's just their Magneto. I think his relationship is defined enough not to like compare it to any other. You know what I mean? Like he's iconic enough.
Yeah, the Joker is also very much like wrong and dangerous and bad, whereas Magneto is like willing to go very far, but arguably, especially like in today's day and age, more and more people say Magneto was right all along.
That's like a big
fair.
meme, right?
His take on things of being like militant rights and freedom above all is a little bit more appealing than Charles Xavier's more liberal peace through coexistence take on things.
And Xavier himself admitted he was kind of wrong by the end of this one. He's like, "I'm sorry, Wolverine. Like I thought we could all work together, but I guess never mind."
Yeah,
I should have read my own mind on that one. Am I right?
Yeah, in the comics these days, like there's nobody that represents Xavier's liberal idea that he has in the original comics and nowadays. And like Cyclops is much more the leader of the mutants these days in the comic books, and he is much closer to Magneto in leadership to the point that Magneto like is usually his advisor character.
I was going to say, yeah, Magneto has joined the X-Men. It's like been regarded as a heroic or even not just on the side of good.
Yeah, it's kind of like most great villain characters wind up being good guys at the end, right? Megatron has joined the Autobots now in the latest version of the Transformers continuity. Barbossa
fully joined the team. Yeah, he's part of the squad. So
yeah, like it's just most great characters. Like if they're a really good character, you can find a way to redeem them, and the audience will want that.
Right. And plus, like with the prequel trilogy movies that they did with Michael Fassbender, like they show he's a very sympathetic character there too. I feel like even though he ends up in each movie kind of like going too far with it, they show him and his relationship with Charles being like, he's just like a troubled guy who Charles wants to help out. And
he's definitely the most interesting part of those movies for the most.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Even though he's also the most inconsistent. It is really funny how in Dark Phoenix, he looks like, like maybe 35, super jacked, handsome in the front of his life. And then 5 years later, he's supposed to be like gaunt ass.
Ian
McKellen. 6-year-old.
Gave him a big smooch one time, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Those smooches, you got to watch out. Who's giving you a smooch?
Or maybe he got some Jedi Force lightning in some point in that 3 years, right?
Yeah, that's
all it takes to make you ugly in a hot minute. Some of that
maybe just using too many magnetic powers has like aged him significantly. Maybe that's
these are all
no
Disney,
prize answer.
This is all Disney IP at this point. This could happen.
I give it probably like 6 copies of Animal Farm out of 10. I think I liked seeing Magneto make his arrival, but I thought there's a lot of like choppy animation and clunky editing and pacing. And I thought some of the internal logic of things going on didn't make a lot of sense. So I wasn't the strongest episode in my opinion.
I don't know. I really liked the philosophical elements of their conversation, and I liked how they shouted out a lot of different literature and philosophical and literary references. So yeah, I think I'd give this one a solid 6.9.
I was also going to give it a 6.9 for the exact same reasons. I enjoyed the philosophical stuff. I thought there was more good character stuff. Admittedly, the first half of the episode is better than the second half. There are some logic leaps there. But as far as introducing important elements to the canon and everything, and giving us some strong, iconic images, I thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
And first time Jubilee got to use her powers to blast somebody through a wall. That was pretty good.
Yeah, her powers are definitely improving. So that's something.
I do believe that's in the next episode.
Oh, fuck.
Well, it's all one episode in my mind.
It all just glides together. I'm trying to watch this on different days just so that they don't blend together, but they still sort of do.
I watched them finish a few minutes before we started. So there you
go. The second episode we watched was Deadly Reunions, which, I'm guessing that's a two double meaning with Sabretooth and Magneto both reuniting with their respective rivals. So we start off with Xavier probing Sabretooth's mind. He's entering his psyche. He's doing like a mind palace thing. There's all sorts of like metaphorical demons trying to get him and poke him with sticks. One looks like Wolverine.
This is pretty crazy we see a lot of mind palace stuff later on that's a lot more consistent visually. This one is just like, oh, he's merged with Sabretooth. And
that was crazy.
Sabretooth. That was really weird. That never happened.
Saber Charles.
Demons.
Yeah, the little weird demons. Like
demons, yeah.
I don't know if that was somebody like trying to explain the Shadow King to somebody real fast and not getting there quite all the way. We'll see more of that in season 2. But I thought it was kind of awesome.
I like the metaphors were great.
Yeah.
I thought it was really
the
cool.
wall of like the walled-in brick room with like the spikes all around it. It's like, let me in. What's wrong? It's good.
And they also kind of show, I don't know if it was in this episode or the previous one, but they show like montage or collage of like faces. And I think this is maybe you mentioned in the first episode that they do a cameo of like Deadpool and Omega Red and some other Weapon X people. Yeah.
Was Deadpool
so it's sort of
this one? Oh shit.
I think the very first face is like Deadpool and someone else, and then they show a bunch of other Weapon X people. Omega Red.
Yeah,
maybe
and like I described last episode, they've just like sent a visual description to the animators and to sneak those in there, right? Because like nobody in 1992 was ever going to let them put Deadpool in an actual thing. It took like 15 years for them to get Deadpool in something, and it was like an animated home video thing that was just sold directly to the existing comics market. And that sold really, really well. And they're like, oh, maybe Deadpool is like something that we should be putting more money into.
If only we could find the right actor.
No, that's never going to work, I don't think.
Suddenly, Ryan Reynolds.
They were just watching Two Guys, a Girl at a pizza place one day, and they said, oh, that's it. It's him. Richard Ruccolo. He's our Deadpool.
They wanted the other guy, but Ryan Reynolds was the one who wanted to do it. So. Did you really just pull the name of the other guy from that show?
Fact check me, bitch.
Uh, okay.
It'll prove you're the real Homo superior in this chat.
Damn
I'll
it,
tell
Richard Ruccolo. It was him.
Wow.
What the fuck?
So Magneto then attacks a chemical plant in like what I felt was like a MacGruber moment. Like we've moved from the nuclear facility to the chemical plant, and I just wanted there to be like a little thing beneath it that says like cocaine medical facility.
I was going to say next week he's going to the cocaine factory or something. Yeah.
And this time he specifically just wants to fight Xavier. Even though later I think we'll find out that he knows exactly where Westchester is, so why has he gotta endanger people? Maybe he's a dick.
Well, they didn't have the internet back then, and he may not be able to look up where someone lives. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know.
He is a mutant supremacist, though, at this point, so he actually doesn't care about those people that he's hurting. He's just like, whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't view them as
they're just Homo sapiens, and we're Homo superior. So
you really love saying that Homo superior thing.
It's funny.
It's pretty funny.
I bet the person who coined that at Marvel thought that was like, this is like brilliant. I gotta use this.
Nobody's gonna make a joke out of this.
So the X-Men go and battle. He sends a bigger team this time to take him on. The X-Jet. During the battle at the plants, Storm gets trapped under some rubble, and it triggers apparently a claustrophobic response. Like apparently that's a fear of hers.
Yeah, it's a common thing with Storm. She's always claustrophobic.
I guess I didn't pick up on that watching it here.
Collapse as a child.
Oh, it always really stuck with me. Like it was how I learned what claustrophobia was Storm on the cartoons. Yeah. And I always wanted to be like empathetic to people if they ever were claustrophobic, but it's like I've never run into anybody that was claustrophobic in my entire life. You know, agoraphobic, which is kind of the opposite of it.
Fear of heights for sure.
So Charles does eventually reveal that he's there as well. He comes in, and after Magneto has defeated the rest of the X-Men team, they engage in a little bit of a mental struggle, and eventually Xavier forcibly reminds Magneto of a painful childhood memories, which sort of distracts him long enough for the team to get away. So the big thing that stuck out to me here, I guess, is that his helmet apparently doesn't have the common protection from Xavier's psychic attacks that it usually does. Is that?
Yeah, like I don't know when that comes along. I think like every comic I've ever read acknowledges that the helmet is there to protect from other people. People use other helmets that are based on it to protect themselves from Xavier or other telepaths reading their minds. It's introduced to us in the X-Men movie and in First Class, and both times it's very clear that it protects against telepaths.
Steel protects against psychic and Pokemon too. So I mean, I think it's just common knowledge.
Oh,
yeah. I guess maybe in this continuity he doesn't come up with the idea to protect the helmet. Let's keep an eye out for when the helmet actually does that, because it totally will protect him in the future. I swear to God, I remember it happening in this cartoon.
So close. You know, like, because he can't do it from like far away, but maybe if he's close enough, he can kind of fuck with him a little bit.
Yeah, I guess that is why he uses Cerebro to amplify his powers, right? But then he could just use Cerebro to hunt down anybody at any time. I think that it's just that these writers were under the gun to put this out and maybe just said fuck it. Like I bet someone called them on it and they were like, we just need to get this show out, right?
We don't have time to animate his helmet coming off.
One cool thing about Cerebro, where he's talking to Storm in the last episode, and he's like, "Hey, Storm, this doesn't have to be a suicide mission. Like, download into your brain all this information that we have about the rockets from Cerebro." And she's like, "Oh, thanks, Professor." It's like pre-Matrix. Like, it's so cool that he can do that with Cerebro. I just thought that was like so cool.
And we'll never see that used ever again.
Right? Yeah, no, that is really cool application of like a telepath who's like hooked up to a supercomputer at the same time. That's I like that too. So after Magneto, or actually kind of concurrently while Magneto and Xavier are fighting, Rogue rescues Storm from under the rubble, and she's forced to perform CPR on Cyclops, who's inhaled some like deadly gas or something, and he's just knocked out. And
I believe it was Toxic.
Toxic.
Yeah,
like the
Skull and
Britney Spears
Crossbones.
song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Britney Spears song, which existed in 1993.
Yeah, when she was but a baby. That's what Hit Me Baby One More Time was about. It was about this episode. True story.
So this is a really good way for us to learn how Rogue's powers work, because
Yes.
just by this harmless act of CPR on Cyclops, she absorbs his
But she
abilities.
was super awkward about. Like,
Oh yeah, like
sorry,
it made it seem like she
sugar.
was into him. Yeah.
I'm not going to try to use tongue or nothing.
Yeah, she just couldn't tell. She was like
later
very
on, even.
Sorry,
like when
go
they're
ahead.
talking about it. No, sorry, but like later on when they're talking about it, even she's like, "So about the CPR," and he's like, "Yeah."
She
It's
says something like, "We'll do it again sometime."
A medical necessity. Yeah, it's like it wasn't like romantic in any way. Like you had to do it to save his life. Chill out, Rogue. Like just chill.
It kind of makes sense though. Like if you think about it, she hasn't touched anybody since the boy that she kissed, and like we'll find out later that she put the boy in a coma. It's from the X-Men movies too, though, like that she puts a boy in a coma when she finds out that she's got her powers, right? So that's hopefully not really spoiling anything. That's a core part of Rogue. In the Jim Lee comic books, there was a love triangle also between Cyclops and Jean Grey and Psylocke, a very popular character that shows up later in the cartoons. Everyone loves Psylocke. Olivia Munn completely embodied her in Apocalypse. I don't think they give her a single line or bit of character, but at least she looked right. Psylocke would like do something kind of suggestive and play it off like it was innocent, but Jean Grey would get all pissed off at Cyclops about it because he would get all horny. And, and then that turned into a recurring thing of like love triangles with telepaths and Cyclops. Like the guy who can't hide what he's thinking and doesn't lie to anybody, always getting in love triangles with telepaths. It's weird. Anyway, I think that's what they're kind of referencing a little bit, keying in on, is that kind of tension with Cyclops and other women. So because they're all, they all love him. He's the super handsome leader guy.
I guess, yeah.
He's tall too. Wolverine can't handle it.
No.
Yeah, he's the accurate 5 foot tall short person that he really should be. I think the movies kind of create a different Wolverine. Like the cinema Wolverine is a completely different character than comics Wolverine because he's like a handsome 6'4" guy,
Yeah, Hugh Jackman definitely doesn't look like a little dude in those movies. He's like a big, like he's got big like reach. It seems like he's probably tall.
It was really funny though.
Is for real though.
Really funny in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie when they go through all the various Logan variants, and one walks up who actually is comic accurate height.
Yeah.
And
that was good.
So good.
One of those people that think Daniel Radcliffe would make a great Wolverine because he is the right height.
And the right temperament.
He's also Canadian enough. So as a side effect of the CPR that she gives Cyclops, she absorbs his abilities, which is kind of our first time really seeing this, and she's forced to keep her eyes shut to control the optic blast, since she doesn't have a visor like Scott does.
She's blinded by the light.
So she's blinded by the light, exactly. So Xavier
ripped
again,
up like a deuce, another runner in the night.
Yeah, and Cyclops has to like be her eyes and tell her what to do, and I think Xavier also helps her.
Yes, he telepathically guides her.
Yeah.
There's also a really funny moment when Cyclops or Xavier and Magneto are fighting, and it's just when they're about to leave, actually. So Charles like calls his wheelchair to him, which is like way up in the sky, and it like to get to him on the ground, it does like a triple backflip, and like lands in front of him, and I just love the extra little the jazz of it all.
I feel you on that. Okay, he can make stuff happen with his mind. Can he not just bridge the gap to his legs and just walk? Like, what's stopping him from just like manipulating his legs? You know what I mean?
It's always been a big, stupid part of it. He's not supposed to be telekinetic, and that is what the cartoon is getting wrong at this point. Like he actually, in the cartoons, he never really has telekinetic power, just telepathic power. It's Jean Grey and Cable that have telekinetic power, and they can move stuff with their minds, and that's what makes them even more powerful than him. But the
Right.
Interesting.
cartoon, we're at this point where things are early and they're not as well defined, right? So we're seeing Xavier use telekinetic powers that he shouldn't have. We're seeing Magneto use all sorts of weird fucking powers that don't make any fucking sense,
Mhm.
right? Like the part where he just kind of like creates an energy field around and hits,
Right.
I think Storm and or Rogue with it. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there just like,
Right.
this isn't a real power. This is something he does in the X-Men arcade game, but it's not a
Yeah.
real power.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like electricity is connected to magnetism, I guess, is the excuse here.
Yeah.
Like maybe he can create an electrical charge out of it, but that's not something that we've ever seen in other versions of Magneto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They love to do like the things like technically because he can do this, it also means he can do like, you know, earth metals and things like that where he'll like pull, he can like control dirt and things like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
I get the feeling he's more powerful in this than he is in the movies. Like this version of him is,
Yeah, I would say so.
He's just pretty
and maybe not as
powerful in
smart,
all the things. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
he seems a little more mustache twirly, especially when he's like fighting the X-Men. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
like
know,
they'll make him a much more complete whole character in X-Men 97, but he is a much more villainous version of Magneto than the movies, for sure.
totally.
Hmm.
Although I think
Uh,
season two basically begins his path to herodom. So I don't know, I think it's just season one that he's kind of very open and shut textbook villain. I think they start to develop him in season two a lot.
so they get away safely and they get but back at the base. Meanwhile, while this has all been going on, there is a scene where Jubilee goes to like loosen Sabretooth's handcuffs because they're hurting him, even though he's got a healing factor. And I don't know why she's being nice to him at all. Like, so it's a really dumb moment. She releases his arm to like get some ointment for it or something. I
And
guess there was,
this happens all the time. Kitty Pryde has been tricked
yeah,
into letting Sabretooth go. The year after this, Psylocke gets tricked into letting Sabretooth go or I think maybe it's Boom Boom, who's a minor character. Somebody else. Everyone just gets tricked. Sabretooth is constantly tricking people into thinking that he's redeemed and getting out. It's like his main trick.
yeah.
As a character. It
Besides
happens way
his
too
like
much. It doesn't
14
happen in the
abs.
movies. Yeah, it's
He,
it's those 15 extra abs. He just flexes those
yeah.
and people just cream themselves.
Yeah.
So he reveals that he's faked his rehabilitation, which seems to have only happened in like the last day or something. I don't know how rehabilitated they really must have thought he was.
Or I mean, I have no idea how long it's been either.
I guess, yeah, that could have been a long period, I guess.
I think to audiences watching this, it probably felt like weeks or months, even though it feels like this could be the next day as well.
True. Yeah, fair enough. So he's holding Jubilee hostage, but then Wolverine arrives back at the base and they have a little tussle and Wolverine ends up injured, I guess, and this is where Jubilee uses her powers to launch Sabretooth out the wall and he runs off into the woods.
Right.
Yeah, yep. I was surprised, like I guess they're really kind of downplaying Wolverine's healing factor because I find he can like why is he in bed on a like life support after getting his stomach slashed? I feel like that's something.
I'm pretty sure like Sabretooth has adamantium claws, right?
I guess,
So it's
yeah.
like the one thing that
Is
can
that
probably hurt him bad, kind of like kryptonite.
okay? Okay. I wasn't sure if that was the case or not. Like, is adamantium like something he's actually has a weakness to?
I just
Or,
think
like,
it's
if you
gonna like
hit him with
hurt
it.
more because it's gonna cut better.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assume that like not a lot of stuff can even get through whatever hide or something Sabretooth is wearing. I don't know. He's not supposed to be
Mm.
related to Wolverine in this. I don't even know if he has a healing factor in this. I think he
Oh
does.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
they leave Sabretooth a pretty blank page, even though like we get a lot of Sabretooth, but I don't think they really go into who he is a whole lot. I'm actually not even sure if we do get a whole lot of Sabretooth. I think he might just be a season one dude. Come to
Does he
think of
come
it.
back and help Craven at some point? Or like
No. No. Although you think Sabretooth and Kraven would really fit well
Yeah, they could.
contextually.
Yeah.
I give this episode maybe like a 5 wrapped up deuces out of 10. Like
Oh, really?
it's fine, but I just think it's kind of treading water and saying a lot of stuff that we already learned in the last episode.
Yeah.
The rogue stuff. I really was impressed by that last episode. It was way better than I remember it was going to be. But this one, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is more of the same. The rogue stuff is interesting with her
Yeah.
powers.
Watching
Yeah, I
them
like
back to
watching
back.
Rogue blast her eyes out.
Mhm.
I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
bad. Maybe it's like 5.5,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I give it a little bit higher. I appreciated that we had some Rogue. Rogue's one of my favorite characters. I'm starting to realize, and
Do
she
love
added a
Rogue.
lot of. I do love Rogue, and I just sort of liked having her there. And I give it like a six barrels of toxic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it right in the middle. I'll give it a 5.75. I thought it was fine. It was good. I like the rogue stuff. I like the laser eyes, how she can control it. And he's like, just close your eyes. She's like, oh,
That seems to
Oh.
be a solution, maybe.
It's like, have you never
Yeah.
talked to Cyclops about his powers before either? Like,
right.
she
And like
as
she ended
a
up like blasting her own hands, just trying
Yeah.
to like cover it up. It's like, no, just close your eyes. Yeah. You'd think Cyclops would have had his like backup glasses on him or something, just be like, here, and she was wearing them in the end. But I guess they left him back at the academy.
Yeah, he's actually only supposed to have the no power over his laser blast because of a head injury too. That's like from the comics, but
Oh,
I guess it's
yeah.
not really a thing here. I don't remember that being a part of the movies either. They just in the movies, I think they make it just like he's on all the time.
He's
There's
on
no-
all the time. Yeah, that's his secret.
He's constantly hard.
So I guess that kind of covers. We kind of already got into Magneto's powers a little bit. Was there a favorite use of powers that we, a particular action beat or anything like that? That anyone?
I'd have to say the use of CPR. That was a really good.
Yeah, I agree.
She literally
I think
brought him back to life. He could have died. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I agree. All right.
Yeah, I'm impressed by Beast's holding himself upside down a lot.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely
Yeah,
got big muscles.
That is always impressive.
Okay, well, that's it for this week's episode of the TV show X-Men 92. For Jim Vanderhorst and Ben Caldwell and Mike McDermott, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.